Ladies and gentlemen, we're walking into what will be the last map, well, not really the last map, but the last match of the North American online portion of the ESL Pro League. Liquid have already sealed a one-way ticket to Odense. Whether or not they come back early is still yet to be seen. Of course, we've got high hopes for them moving into that particular land, but right now we've got a battle for pride where Renegades will be trying to take one over Liquid. They have been having quite a few close series up against the Team Blue, especially online, especially on Cobblestone, where they have even been able to get out a few map victories. So this should definitely be one hell of a match. And well, we're going to be coming back with the action very soon. Just waiting for the iBuy Power Master situation to be slightly sorted out, and then we should be good to go. That being said, of course, I'm T-Time. I'm joined by my left-hand man, my sidekick, and whatever else you'd like to call him, CSGO Sap, the observer for today. Remember, if you want to flame anyone for missing the action, if you want to flame anyone for missing accidental suicides by Na'Vi players, then it should be him and definitely not me. With that being said, we're going to be back very soon with some Counter-Strike matches. We might be seeing a preview of what is to come in the iBuy Power Master Plan, where both of these two teams are right now. Liquid just having gotten out of a soul-crushing victory over Misfits, where it went all the distance to overtime, no less. Liquid versus Misfits, of course, it quickly developed to be another classic matchup in the North American region, but right now we've got another one that does have the makings of one classic. JDM on that platform area, getting some information as he sees Nifty throwing out his grenades before wanting to back himself off, but the retreat will not be coming through, so instead Nifty turns tail and charges right into JDM, bringing him down and allowing Justillo to come through connector, and as to also find another one. Twist is there to respond, but responses are not present from Renegades to Twist. He's making his way back onto the site, and he will be able to cut down Nifty and JKS. Twist starts things off strong, and he finds an ace to make it a quick 1-0 for Liquid. And with that being said, I mean, Renegades, they can't be feeling too happy about such a ridiculous start to the map. Twist evidently here to play, and he's got plenty of utility on himself as well. JDM sticking to only a USP. And he does end up buying up a little while later. Seems like he was asleep back in the base. Still a bit tired from the LAN, I'm sure. Renegades, though, they have been on a bit of a hot streak recently, just coming out victorious from the Star Ladders Shanghai event, beating out Virtus Pro in that finals over there. They did end up losing Cobblestone, though, and let's see whether or not they can fare slightly better against Liquid. Does look like they're starting off the right way. Nifty with a quick headshot onto Nitro to shut him down. Naf will accompany Justillo on towards that B plat to take control. JDM is the only person so far to be able to get a response kill. Naf is continuing through, being shot from the side by his own teammate. We've seen plenty of that happening today. Stanislaw, though, will be reacquainted with Naf. The Optic buddies back again, but Stanislaw not quite ready to be playing buddy-buddy just quite yet. Justillo with a nice shot onto JDM, who was able to take down JKS earlier on, but now Stanislaw is left alone, playing out towards that aim inside. The incendiary a bit too high flung, and he's not able to get it done. Justillo expecting him from the side. I'm going to mute my microphone. I need to sneeze. Alright then, now that we're done sneezing our lungs out. Liquid just having been reset off the back of Renegades being able to get some phenomenal quick kills and catching Liquid out one by one, getting those 2v1s every single time. So even when Liquid was able to trade a couple of frags, they weren't doing so very effectively. And now Elige, he's got a P250, and they're very quickly coming close to him. Justillo finds one, but Twist is there with the trade. Nifty Molotoving out Stanislaw's entry point, and that means he can quickly switch over to shut down the players jumping through the smoke. Justillo, it's all on him now because he needs to be able to make sure that he gets at least one from this angle, and one is what he will receive. Quickly shuts down Nitro as well, getting a kill onto Twist. And with that, Liquid, their force by being ineffective and their force by not coming to fruition, means that Renegades will be able to take this to a third round very easily and negate that pistol victory completely and utterly. Naf very quickly onto the B side. He goes. Stanislaw, though, jumps right into his waiting arms. Naf finds two, but that's going to be all that he'll get. Finally shut down by JDM, but Justillo is now wreaking havoc from the side. JDM manages to do it again. And it's now a 2 versus 2 with guns to be reclaimed and AK on the ground as well. Naf, when you're regretting that, but JDM just too scared to go and pick it up right now, and that means that Nifty and JKS will have free reign to go over towards this A site. Elige gets the AK thrown over towards him. Wouldn't mind seeing them play this very defensively, considering the bomb is already down and you do have an AK to save moving forward. Even a UMP, not too bad to take into the next round, but that UMP will be taken out of his hands. JKS quickly doing the honors with that grenade. Elige, the player who is often called the best in North America, now just inching his way forward onto that side. Doesn't have a kit, but does have the desire to do damage. But Nifty, got to be careful. He keeps away, and that means Elige will not be able to quickly crouch peek his way in and find that early kill. JKS just adds to the aim punch, and that means they're going to be able to quickly shut him down, even saving the AK in the process of doing so. And because of that, now they don't have an AWP on the hands of JDM. I was hoping you would be able to get a kill with the UMP to be able to have a bit more money to play that B plan area, but so far he's not been doing too badly with those P250s. At least though, first man to take charge, and again, Liquid, they seem to be telegraphing the same play, the same aggression on towards that B platform side. Stanislaw, though, is the man we need to keep an eye out for, because he might be having company delivered right to his footsteps. That isn't welcome company. Nitro, though, very welcome over here. He's been boosted up, but the incendiary coming through will prevent him from staying his ground. Naf still lurking towards that B site, making sure that there will be no flanking from Liquid. There will be no sudden rotations or sudden off angles from Liquid. JDM is holding that angle, though, with the M4. Whether or not he can get this long-range spray down is an entirely different story. He does sometimes have difficulties with the rifles instead of the AWPs, but the flashbang is there to help him out. But it's only one. Needed to get a 2 over there to make sure it's still a 3 versus 2. However, now it's Naf planting the bomb down. And in this post-plant situation where once again these two players don't have their kits, Nitro has to rely on being able to get a kill through this boost, and indeed he will. As it goes down and Yusila being as low as he is, means that the only way they can win this round is if he's able to catch them off by surprise, which is entirely possible given the fact that they don't have kits and they don't really have time to be able to check this angle. Yusilo can come for the backstab, and indeed he will start inching his way through. Doesn't expect them to be looking towards him, and he's right in not doing so. Sees one, will be able to shoot him down, and on the other side it's Naf to shut down Nitro. 4-1 Renegades are looking very convincing right now. Liquid will not have the AWP out till the next round, and that's where they get a slight entry point into this map. But until then, it's just going to be another victory for Renegades if things keep going the way that they are. Now they've got Mac 10s as well, but Stanislaw, look at you, starts off strong. Finds that first shot onto Nifty, not quite able to get anything out of it though, because Mac 10 that fell down. Azza has one of his own, and that one will be relinquished. And he does take a fall. Twist though, quickly there to accompany his teammate, but it's still a quick clean up, even quicker. JDM, unfortunately, looks like he might be AFK in this site. Technical problems, perhaps. We will be seeing a pause coming through. But it does look like Renegades will receive that victory regardless. We've received news, and it will be a technical pause right after this. JDM having some troubles. We saw earlier on as well that he couldn't really get that buyout. And he couldn't really get too much done over there. So 5-1 Renegades will be forced to have their momentum stop for a little while longer as JDM will reconnect onto the server. The only real question is, how are Liquid going to change things up? Because so far they've been telegraphing their plays to the point where Renegades should expect that early flashbang push onto us, that B platform, and try and punish it. They should expect JDM to be holding that same site, that same angle every single time. No proper rotations going through, but have to say, he hasn't got the AWP so far, so that does make sense. You almost always see the rotationary measures coming through when you've got the AWP on JDM, when you've got that mobile one-shot kill potential, where you can just put so much pressure across the map, even as a CT. Cobble, of course, not one of those maps where AWPs seem as dominant as maybe Overpass or Train, or even to some extent Mirage. But there's definitely angles you can play, and there's definitely styles you can play. Rotation, not as effective because of the lack of map control that you have early on. Cobble, of course, being practically the only map in the pool where the terrorists do have complete map control in the start of the round. That's why it's one of the only maps in the pool that is so very obviously terrorist-sided. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule, but generally speaking, that is how it is. JDM is back, and with that, hopefully we should be able to get back into the game as well. Two AWPs on the side of Liquid, and that's the adjustment that's coming through from them. Nitro has made the call to go for one himself. And the other one will be in the hands of JDM. This double off setup style, infamous for the old Immortals lineup that was able to get to the major finals. Incredibly powerful in their hands, and let's see whether or not Liquid can say the same about themselves as Twist. Setting down towards that connected side, will choose to rotate back into the safety of Rock. JDM finds the first one, but it will be traded away. Twist is there to back him up and keep things in the favor of Liquid, but Asa is now down to 2 HP. He needs to be careful, and he needs to play around that crate perfectly. Stanislaw coming in from the back lines might be able to catch them off, but it's Twist who still continues to step up time and time again. Picks up JDM's AWP as well, smokes himself out so that he doesn't get burnt alive, and with that he will be able to back himself off into Chicken Coop as well. 2 AWPs, and one of them's already found blood. The second one might need to be what comes in to save the day. JKS Molotoving out Chicken Coop means that Twist will be forced to rotate out. JKS still out in the open, trying to get the wallbang in onto Twist. There's still 50 seconds left on the clock, and he knows that there's only one resource he has to work with, and that resource is the clock. Twist, though, peeks out right as JKS looks away, and that will be the end of Renegades' win streak. Liquid keep their 2 AWPs alive as well. That's very important if they want to maintain that setup. They don't want their economy to just be shut down immediately. And another pause does come through. Looks like Renegades are the ones who are having some technical issues now. But Twist, what a performance from him. JDM not quite stepping up, but Twist is there to pick up all the slack in the world. And he was having a very good performance up against Misfits as well earlier on. Misfits, though, with 42 kills on Almanek, he just had a stellar performance. He looked like he was having the game of his life on that LAN. Of course, Renegades have just had a golden opportunity handed to them. If they can shut down Liquid now, if they can take this to a 6-2 scoreline, not only do they reset Liquid on a double op setup. So you've not got any money on any of these players. You don't have a spare $1,000 here or there. You're going to be completely and utterly broke. And Renegades, off the back of that, should be able to guarantee themselves 8 or 9 rounds there and then. That is still a far-flung reality, though. Will take some time before Renegades can get to fantasizing about this round victory. Right now, they're just hoping that they can get their technical problems sorted out, as are the rest of us. If you didn't figure out the pun I made there, it's Azar, as in Azza. I feel like every time I make a bad pun, I need to, snap my fingers on the microphone and go, "Hey!" But probably not for Pro League. Probably not for Pro League. This is what happens when technical timeouts come through. Stop making bad puns. That's the problem with solo casting. You don't really have another person to be able to bounce ideas off of. I do have my producer over here, but that would sound like a very one-sided conversation. And I don't think that I want to be having that one-sided conversation, especially since the poor fella has been awake for about 30 hours in a row. Not that it's anyone's fault but his, but hey. It's a CSGO life. The CSGO life is also what we're hoping that we will be able to get back to soon enough. Just some problems coming through. Of course, Renegades and Liquid not playing on their standard setups. They're playing on a slightly different environment at the iBuy Power Masters LAN area. They have just probably been given a few practice computers to be able to play the Pro League finals final day from. Apparently their desks are very, very small as well. And that's a problem for some of these players that like to be able to use their elbow grip rather than the wrist grip. Always do need more table space for that. They've got the good old keyboard tilt going for themselves as well. When you tilt it to the side to make more space for the mouse, and in the process of doing so, you make sure that your left hand, assuming that you're right-handed, your left hand gets carpal tunnel. Because you're just bending it in such an awkward angle. We don't want any of these players to be getting carpal tunnel, though. Not at all. Renegades, the last hope of Australia. And Liquid, let's be honest, they're kind of the last hope of North America, at least in the international scene. Cloud9 yet to make a proper ripple, while Liquid have made their way to finals and more. We're contemplating cutting towards just some music to be able to make sure we've got something going for you guys. But it does seem like the resume should be coming out very, very soon. And indeed it is. As soon as we get that possibility, it looks like it will be shut down right on its head. And so we get back into the flow. Renegades have a chance to reset Team Liquid, who just got a magnificent round victory off the back of Twist having an equally magnificent performance. They saved their two ops moving forward, but their economy is still weak. Because that was, of course, their first round victory in 5 whole rounds. Smokes, flashes, the works coming out towards that A side, and it's quickly that they're going to be trying to get some information out. Nitro's the first man to open up onto Nifty, but Stanislaw has to be the person underneath fire very soon. Ustillo and JKS just ready to go in soon enough. Naf flashes in, and he will drop down into connect to try and pincer out the players on that A site. Nitro starts off the peak, but will not be able to follow through on it because Ustillo's there to respond. Now Stanislaw with the UMP has to step up and has to be able to find one or maybe even both of these skills. Now that he realizes Azza is coming out from the connector side, once Twist goes down, he needs to take the peak, and he knows it doesn't want to get pincered down. And now Naf is the person who's in the process of being pincered. They're coming in from all his sides. The flashbang will not be catching him out, but Elige will go down regardless. Stan on 5 HP and JDM on 100. Both of these players will be equally volatile right now. JDM, the second he misses a shot, he will be a dead man. And Stanislaw, well, he's got a foot in the grave already. 5 HP on him, trying to play around, trying to perhaps get towards that balcony side through the death hatch, but he reveals his position. The flashbang goes through, and that's going to be allowing JDM to make his entry point into the site where Naf is going to be taken down. He's still now left alone in a 1 versus 2. He sees JDM, and he's able to bring him apart. 2 kills so far for Ustillo, and looks like he might just be able to finish things off with 3. Stanislaw in the 1v1 though. He's crouch peeking this, and he's doing it perfectly, but Ustillo's got too much HP. And he will even be able to recover the op. Would have liked to see him actually stick to the AK. Renegades stick to 5 AKs. Going up against Liquid's now eco round, or rather it's a force buy? Liquid decide that instead of letting Renegades get to 8, they want to try and find this sub right here and now. Elige has an MP9, Nitro has a Scout, JDM with a P250 and Kevlar. This is a Hail Mary if I've ever seen one. Naf has already managed to get Nitro down to 2 points of HP. Elise as well being chunked down. Those grenades are very, very heavy. Twist, who has been boosted up towards that drop area, might just want to push through, but he's been flashed up entirely. He's shooting around blindly, but is not very accurate that way. They still haven't revealed where they want to go, but Stanislaw might be able to intercept them on the cross from the mid side. The smoke, no, never mind, that's a flashbang coming through that will catch him out entirely. And Azza, in the meanwhile, finds 2 kills for himself as well. Azza, creeping his way through, will be brought down by 2 consecutive headshots. Stanislaw able to do the job, but he does have only 20 points of HP left. Nitro looking fancy, but is he to be looking fancy as he dies as well? The MP9 can be recovered by Stanislaw, sitting behind him, but decides against it. Goes for the more stable defensive weapon instead. The 5.7, not a gun that we're seeing a lot of these days. The CZ has been prioritized largely ever since the buffs coming through to 5.7. Even before that, where you would expect to see the 5.7, no one really picked it up, even on players like Shocks and even on players like Nico. You saw the CZs coming through despite them having ridiculous aims. Nico, of course, generally speaking, you're going to be hard-pressed to find him on a pistol that isn't the Deagle or the P250. He's just so incredibly good with the Deagle, but right now Stan is hoping that he can take this UMP into the next round, and he might be able to do so, because so far there's no indication from Liquid that it's worth it to go for just an SMG. They've kept their 3 rifles alive, and Renegades are happy with that. Finally, an eco round coming up from Liquid, and they will be able to buy in the next round regardless, but they won't have the AWP in the hands of JDM unless Stanislaw gets a few kills with that UMP, unless he's able to get a little bit more money for himself so he can drop that up and still afford Kevlar. Flashbang though is out, and Justillo will not be able to take advantage of the peaks coming through from Chris because of that. Nice little kill from him though. He makes up for the early lacking, and he will be able to continue through with even more. Just a few eco rounds, eco frags being farmed up by them. Nitro gets 1 kill, but he's backing off. He doesn't want to. He doesn't really want to give away too much and wants to be able to get himself into a position where he's more effective and finding exit frags and potentially finding a gun for himself. And he almost was able to bring down JKS, but JKS with a jiggle and repeat is going to prevail in that duel. Perhaps a slightly unnecessary repeat as well from JKS, having received the information that Nitro is there. Just a little bit pointless to just try and shut down a 5-7, really. Sure, you can take that into the next round and that might have some impact, but it is very unlikely that that is going to be the case, especially when you know it's a full buy coming through the next round. No AWP for JDM, as we already talked about. And seeing as how Liquid was even prioritizing a double off setup, the AWP is definitely something they realize is one of the most major points of their arsenal, but the arsenal will be cut short soon. Stanislaw has company over towards A site, and both him and Nitro will be very quickly going down. Twist trying to trade shots through the door, but after revealing his position, Justillo was able to line that up perfectly. The traces giving him away, and Naf might be able to find a few right as well. Takes down JDM. These will smoke it off and go for the peak, but he's left alone versus 5, and his position is entirely known. They will be hunting him down. He knows they're closing in from all the sides. The glass breaks, and with that, Azek has the chance to come in from the side and take him apart. 9-2 Renegades This might be the first time in the history of these two teams on Cobblestone that I'm seeing them win this in such a one-sided manner. Renegades now should be able to take this to a 10th round as well, unless Elige, who's the only person who's brought up a gun with that scout, finds a couple of ridiculous headshots. It just seems to be improbable. The Deagles are there as well. Twist and Nitro, both of these players have been known to really step up with that pistol from time and time. But Elige is already down. That's a scout out of his hands. Nitro as well, pushing through aggressively with Stanislaw. JKS might be traded away, but that's only one. And his position is made aware. JKS was even able to find one kill before he goes down, so he's perfectly content with this. Nitro does have an AK dropped over towards him that he can transfer into the hands of JDM. Or at least transfer the Deagle into the hands of JDM. Instead, though, they're going to prioritize taking it into the next round, and why not? Because Elige is sitting on 1300. You may as well drop that AK to him. JDM goes down, and Twist will be the last person left defending Nitro on that A site. Justillo, though, has managed to thread the needle and make his way through towards a ramp and down into mid. Needs to turn around and make sure that he can find that kill, though, and he won't be able to do so because Nitro has the angle. That's 2 AK saved moving forward, and that's very important for Liquid because now you've got a full buy, you've got full utility, now you've got the chance to take it to a 10-5. But if you lose this one out, just can't see them being able to take this game away from Renegades. And Renegades, so far, we haven't really seen them going for a set execute on towards a site late into it. Instead, they've mostly been going for early on aggression that does end up letting them a couple of kills. And that's working out well against Liquid, who've already showcased that their tendencies are less defensive and more proactive. That proactivity, though, coming back to bite them right now. As they now finally decide to slow things down, make their way on towards that B site, where JDM has got an AWP on the other side. The boost will come through, and JDM has the shot onto Nifty. He goes down, and Elite follows through onto Naf, getting a secondary kill, and it's a 5 versus 3 already. Liquid, finally, their proactivity does pay dividend. JDM will have another chance to take another one down, and he will. And he will do so. Liquid so far just getting constant pickoffs. Renegade seems to be the one round from them where they aren't playing off of each other, where they don't have a buddy system, where they are just being picked apart one by one. And Castillo, who's been left alone, will be stabbed in the back by Elige as well. 3 AKs on the side of the CTs, and they're able to keep all their players alive as well. Unfortunately for them, Renegades have got too much money, and they've got every chance to keep on buying throughout the rest of this half. No opportunity for Liquid to be able to reset them out or try and get a few extra bonus rounds at the back of poor economic buy from Renegades. Nitro now will be going forward to accompany his teammate. Finds one onto Justillo. Twist has found another on the other side with Azza going down in that connector area. Next deal should be coming through very soon. Nifty has to step up. There's enemies all around him, and the second he goes through the smoke where it clears out, those enemies will be welcome. JDM says hello and goodbye with one swift bullet to the head. Stan sees another one, but Naf will win that duel out. He's only got 5 HP though. That will, wow, that's surprising. Naf finding Nitro, who's not able to get a single bullet onto him before the spray comes through. It's not even a ridiculous one-tap. Nitro just completely and utterly missing all of his shots. As I said, they do still have the full buyout, and now they're purchasing up the AWP for Nifty to try and combat the double op setup that Liquid have opted to run for yet again. 4 players on towards that B side early on, expecting the aggression to come through from Renegades. And I really like that setup from Team Liquid, simply because they're recognizing Renegades so far have indicated early aggression to be their only success story. JKS, though he's a success. Oh, I can't pronounce that word for some reason. JKS is their success story all on his own, so finding 2 kills and opening up that A site. And what a ridiculous spray down that was from him. A 3rd kill added. He's even able to get the bomb plant down. Twist and Elige, the last 2 left, and Twist will be leaving Elige alone as well. He has a kit this time, but no utility, and a very slim chance of doing too much in the last round of the first half, and may as well. But let's quickly check out that spray once again. The ridiculous shots coming out from JKS in that stage, and then we're quickly going to move over towards some music, and we'll be back with the second half very soon after. Stay tuned, because we've got some great Counter-Strike action. Can Liquid bring this back on their T side? And with Renegades able to get an 11th round on the back of a ridiculous spray trance from JKS, Liquid definitely have to be slightly demoralized. Now they need that pistol round victory to be able to make their gateway in on that terrorist side. 11-4 Liquid. They've got themselves a smoke and a couple of flashes, and they need to get that bomb plant down, because Renegades have gone for the full battle strategy. They've got 5 sets of Kevlar across the board, and that will be leaving them with a gaping defense if the bomb is already planted. Looks like they might be wanting to go for a pincer on towards the A site. 3 players on drop. Can't just come down and try and overwhelm Azza together. Azza's already seen their feet though, and the 3 players immediately drop down. Though JKS is there in the back lines. It's a 2-man tag team duo who's able to get 3 quick kills. And the entirety of drop has been cleaned up, and that means it's a 2 versus 3 on the A side. 1 player still left over towards B. The bomb is dropped though, and with that, Twist is left to do the impossible, fight up against 3 players, as he's already found 1 kill. Naf though puts him out of his misery, and with that, beautiful setup in connector. Renegades will be able to take it to 12 rounds on the CT side. Now comes out the Max 7 for Nifty. There's an M4 in the hands of Naf, but other than that, all the other guns are money weapons. Nifty hoping that he can get that $900 loss bonus over towards that A long area. Liquid, no, don't want to give it over to him. It's onto the B side. They go. I'm tripping over myself right now. Wouldn't mind some more tea. Maybe I should go get some after this game. You still are waiting for the flash angle. But Azza's already wasted some of their utility, and with that he's going to be overwhelmed, but instead he turns around and makes it 2. Yustilo adds 1 more to his own counter as well before finding a second, and Naf finishes things off with Liquid only able to get 1 singular kill onto JKS, and even he only had that UMP, so you're not really forcing out anything significant to be rebought. Yustilo can just drop over his own SMG, and with that, he purchases up an M4 for himself, so 13-4, and Liquid now on a full eco. P250 is the only investment coming out from Stanislaw, and a flashbang in the hands of Twist. Nifty smoking out mid, and he's just getting aggressive with this Max 7, hoping that he can find a couple of good kills, and he indeed has the chance to do so, but the flashes will be avoided. He turns around, there's a player in his face, and he needs to shoot him down immediately. Nifty, stop making out with him in the smoke. Finally, he sees them coming through and will be able to get 2. What's happening over here? Liquid, 4 kills for Nifty, and Nitro's left to be the last, to be the ace in the hands of Nifty. Let's catch that on a replay, because let's be honest, that is one of the most ridiculous rounds that you're ever going to be able to see. With a Max 7, first spend some time knocking heads with the Team Liquid players in the smoke, then very quickly able to sidestep them, 2 quick kills over there, turns around for the 3rd, 4th, and the ace to finish things off with a clean one. Liquid just got absolutely massacred by that Max 7, and that's why he's still staying on it. Pushes out aggressively into the A platform, the A long area, where he will try and have a similar feat. Stanislaw, though, having the smoke clearing out from in front of him, does have the chance to push through if he wants to. This time there's no Max 7 on the other side. JKS, though, he might be even more deadly than a Max 7, because he's got an M and he's got very little HP, so will be forced to back off very quickly. Elise, though, is there to shut him down off from the backsides. Nifty's Mag 7 chimes in again. His bells will be rung, and JDM will be left to fight off 3. The bomb is on the ground, but he's got time to work with, if nothing else. Rotations will be coming through, but very slowly. Naf scouts him out, and with that, he's just going to back his way up to the balcony. JDM trying to break the death hatch and trying to make some noise and force them into thinking he's going somewhere where he's not, but they know exactly where he is. JDM was dead before he knew it. You know what? Let's have that replay. Let's have that Mag 7 replay before we potentially close this round out, because Liquid, they're going to want to see that themselves when they go over the VOD of that. How exactly did that even happen? Not able to properly see Nifty while they walked by him. Perhaps some 4-3 shenanigans going on. Perhaps just not expecting it. And he's hiding in plain sight then. But back to this round as we go. Yustilo finds 1, quickly makes it a doubles transfer, and is able to keep things under control. But it's 3 for him so far, and Renegades finish things off with a very quick sweep. And we're going to be moving to a second map with Renegades taking the first victory. Not quite sure if we caught the last round or did we just manage to mess it up with the replay. Oh, brilliant stuff. We got that as well. I was a little bit worried over there. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be back with some more CSGO action on Train.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the city of Odense, GeForce GT.